Well, everyone likes to travel and people want to go to different countries and see their culture and beauty. If you are American, then you can travel to any country, and that too, because of your passport. America's passport is very powerful, and the doors of many countries are open for Americans. But friends, let me tell you that you can visit many countries with American passport, but there are countries in this world where Americans cannot visit comfortably. Friends, if you have ever planned to visit the countries I am going to talk about, then definitely think once. Because Americans are closely monitored in these countries, and even a small mistake can land you in big trouble. You have to take care of small things if you go there. But friends, what is the reason for this, and why Americans cannot travel easily in these countries? Why these countries don't even like to see Americans, so you will know further which are those countries, and why they do not like Americans. So friends, now let's start the video. So our first country is North Korea. This is a place that fascinates many but is off limits for most. North Korea, officially the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, has some of the strictest travel restrictions in the world, and since 2017, the US government has banned its citizens from visiting without special permission. So, what happened? Back in 2017, tensions between North Korea and the US escalated due to various political reasons, including North Korea's nuclear weapons program. That year, the tragic case of Otto Warmbier, an American student who was detained in North Korea and later died after being released in a comatose state, shook the world. As a result, the US government issued a full travel ban for its citizens, citing safety concerns. Now, here's the thing. If you're an American and you've always dreamt of seeing Pyongyang's towering monuments or the surreal mass games in person, technically, you can apply for a special waiver through the US State Department. But getting that waiver approved is like winning the lottery, extremely rare. And let's be honest, even if you get the green light, it's not exactly a vacation. North Korea strictly controls all foreign visitors, particularly Americans. You can't roam freely. You're part of a highly organized government tour where every step is monitored by government guides or minders. You'll only see what they allow you to see: pristine monuments, carefully curated tours, and locals who are likely instructed to put on a show of loyalty to the regime. And friends, let me tell you that if you take your own photos, you will have to take them very carefully. Because if you take a photo near a place where the government is concerned, then you can get into a lot of trouble. And you also have to take care that you do not say anything about the government here. So this was the reason why you should avoid traveling here. So now we move to another country, which is Iran. Now, Iran is known for its stunning architecture, ancient cities, and vibrant culture, but unfortunately for Americans, it's not an easy place to visit. Relations between the US and Iran have been rocky, to say the least, ever since the Iranian Revolution in 1979, when the US-backed monarchy was overthrown, and tensions have remained high ever since. The good news is that visiting Iran isn't entirely impossible, but the process is far from straightforward. If you're an American citizen, you'll need to go through a detailed and time-consuming visa process. First, you need to apply for a visa through an Iranian travel agency. The application process is lengthy, and you can expect a thorough background check. Once you've applied, be prepared to wait weeks, if not months, for a response. The relationship between the US and Iran is complicated, and your visa approval largely depends on the political climate at the time. Things can change in a heartbeat. Even if you're lucky enough to get your visa, you won't be able to travel independently. Americans visiting Iran must join a guided tour with an official Iranian tour operator. That means no spontaneous adventures or off-the-beaten-path explorations. You'll be following a set itinerary, and your guide will be responsible for every aspect of your trip. While the guided tours are generally safe and give you access to Iran's incredible historical sites, like the ancient city of Persepolis or the breathtaking mosques in Isfahan, it's a far cry from the freedom most travelers are used to. But here's the thing. For those who do manage to get in, Iran offers some of the most hospitable people and beautiful landscapes. From the bustling streets of Tehran to the calm deserts of Yazd, it's a country rich in history and culture. However, the visa process and the lack of freedom to explore on your own are significant barriers for many Americans, and the political tensions between the two countries are always looming in the background. So if you come here, then you must pay attention to these things, so that you do not make any mistake. Now we are going to talk about a country where going there is no less than a danger. I am talking about Venezuela. Once upon a time, Venezuela was a popular destination for tourists, especially those looking to experience its natural beauty. It's home to some of the most incredible sights in South America, like Angel Falls, the highest waterfall in the world, and the lush Amazon rainforest. But today, visiting Venezuela is a whole different story. Venezuela has been in the midst of political and economic turmoil for over a decade now, and things have only gotten worse. The country has faced hyperinflation, shortages of basic necessities, and a collapsing healthcare system. For Americans, getting into Venezuela isn't just difficult, it's downright dangerous. The US government has issued a Level 4 travel advisory, which is the highest level, basically telling its citizens to avoid the country at all costs. Why? Well, the risk of crime, violence, and kidnapping is extremely high, particularly for foreigners. And if you're thinking, well, maybe I can still visit, you'll have to navigate a challenging visa process. US travelers can't just hop on a plane and show up, you'll need a visa, and given the strained diplomatic relations between the two countries, getting one isn't easy. Even if you manage to secure a visa, once you arrive in Venezuela, you'll be faced with a country that's grappling with massive economic collapse. Power outages are common, there are long lines for food, and essential services like healthcare are in crisis. What makes it even more heartbreaking is that Venezuela is such a beautiful country, with so much to offer in terms of natural beauty and culture. But for now, the risks far outweigh the rewards for most American travelers. Until things stabilize, it's best to dream of Venezuela's breathtaking landscapes from afar. And friends, at this time you should leave aside the thought of traveling to Venezuela, because the situation here is very bad. If you want, you can see what is going on here right now in the news. So our next country is Libya. Libya, located in North Africa, is another country that used to be on the radar for travelers but has become increasingly difficult to visit, especially for Americans. Since the fall of Muammar Gaddafi in 2011, Libya has been mired in conflict, with rival factions fighting for control, leading to an unstable and dangerous situation across much of the country. For US citizens, the US State Department has issued a Level 4 travel advisory, urging Americans not to travel to Libya under any circumstances. The primary concerns are ongoing civil unrest, terrorism, and a very high risk of kidnapping. Libya's internal conflicts have created a volatile situation where foreigners, especially Westerners, are prime targets. Before the conflict, Libya was a place of immense historical and natural significance. From the stunning Roman ruins at Leptis Magna to the Sahara's sweeping desert dunes, the country has a rich heritage that remains inaccessible for most. Getting a visa to Libya is extremely difficult, and once inside, there's no guarantee of safety. The risk of being caught in a conflict zone, combined with a lack of stable government and infrastructure, makes Libya a dangerous place to visit at the moment. So, while the country's ancient ruins and natural beauty might tempt adventurous travelers, it's a destination that's best avoided until stability returns. So friends, I only told you about 4 countries. There are many countries where Americans are not allowed. And those countries are like Somalia, Syria, Yemen, Afghanistan, and Cuba. So friends, if you want to travel, then travel to a place where you do not face any problem. So friends, that's all in today's video. If you liked the video, then do subscribe the channel. I will meet you in the next video.